Welcome everyone watching this in post. This is going to be a live where I talk to Rupert. It's been a very long time since he has hung out for a live. So please know this is a unique sort of thing. For those who are watching live, hi, hello, welcome to this Friday live with Rupert. He's like over there, by the way. It's not like with Jimothy where Jimothy was like kind of in frame. Rupert's like, he's kind of like leaning on an area right there. Hi, Dory. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. I just started. Hello. Oh, thank you for the rose. Wow, right off from the bat. I appreciate that. Very cool. Hi. Yay, live. Yes. It's always funny when I first start these off. I'm like, hi, everybody. Thank you for the heart. Cool. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. At least to my people who are remotely close to this time zone. I know there are some people who follow me from like Australia and stuff, so it's probably the next day. You know, it's close to being the next day in Europe as well. So it's thanks, Mimi. Cool. How's everybody doing today? I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Oh, wow. Everybody just like joined at once. Cool. I feel like I should like jump into conversation or something. And it's funny. It's like I haven't done this in a while or something. And I'm like, what do I talk about? Ooh, I'm going to talk about this artwork right here that was done by a horse. The horse's name is Baker. This was gifted to me by one of the volunteers at Sacred Spaces. And when it was gifted to me, I cried. Oh my goodness. Upstate New York, hello. Thank you for the heart, Jen. Yeah, so that was really cool. Sacred Spaces just happened only a weekend ago. Rupert was there and we had a Phasma box running, and I haven't listened to the recording yet myself, though from what I heard from the people who were on the Phasma box, they heard spirits being like, hi, Rupert, or that's Rupert. So that was really cool. Hello, Pattern Scribe. Good to see you here. Yes, I am live. Thank you for the crane. Yeah, shout out to all of the people who were at Sacred Spaces this past weekend. It was absolutely amazing. Oh, that's super cool. You go to college in Jamestown, GTech, I imagine. I know a lot of people who went there. That was super cool. Hello, Princess Leia. Hello. Not prepared. Yeah, for anybody who wants to hear a kind of follow-up chat on Sacred Spaces, because we are looking to do it again, that can be found on the Alchemist Inkwell podcast. They're also on YouTube. And this recording is going to be on YouTube later as well, if you are so interested. Hello, Joey. Thanks for being here. Hi, glad to see you as well. Who is that? Who said that? One Sassy Fox. Love the name. Excellent. Cool. Yes. Was going to order food but stopped on TikTok. Well, I think you can watch the live and still like do other apps depending on like what your phone can do. So like order your food. Yes, Stephanie. And goodness, good to see you again. We had such a great turnout, and it was our first con, and we were able to pay our speakers, which a lot of cons don't do. Which I'm super proud about. That was something that was very important for us to do from the very beginning, to show our appreciation through monetary means. And yeah, everything's been paid off, and that's really good. We actually made some profits, so that means that Emily and Crystalline and I actually get paid, which is super cool for all the work that we've done. So everything went well, and we've heard some really wonderful responses from people, and I'm just gonna be beaming about it for so long, because it was such a wonderful experience. My expectations were surpassed at every turn, and it was just wonderful. So for all of you who are able to come, yay, thank you. The virtual copies will be out probably roughly next week, and you can still buy those if you're interested in looking at the recordings. For anybody who did see the virtual recordings, please know we are upping our tech. Thank you, Stephanie. We are upping our tech for later years. This was very much a learning year for us, and that's why we also want to keep it small. We're looking to keep it small as a whole anyway, because we really like that intimate feeling. We like being able to see everybody out there, and we enjoyed the times where we could actually meet people. So that was super cool. Well, thanks for being here, Bree. It's nice to say. Hello, ma'am. Hello, mods, as you're coming on. I appreciated your love fest in our mods chat earlier. You know what I mean? Cool. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Caitlin. Good to see you. I'm doing well today. I had some great consultations today. I see some of you, at least one of you, are here tonight. Goodness, a lot of past life stuff came up today in consultations, so that was really great. Okay, so let's see. Yes, Rupert's here. He's off screen. As I mentioned before, he's not like Jimothy. He's not looking to be like, yeah, I'm here. He's like over there. So for anybody who might be watching live or in post, this is for fun. You either believe me or you don't. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you have to believe. Like, it's really your prerogative. So I'm here to have fun. So if you want to talk to me, you can ask questions of him. I will probably gauge questions and make sure that they're okay with him before I ask them out loud. So I think this is a basic one. So tarot with Carrie, how are you and Rupert feeling today? So I think I've answered that question for myself. What would you say? He says, well rested. I hope there are more of you out there who can say the same. Oh, thank you, Natasha. Good to see you. Do they enjoy sacred spaces? So I already gave my answer on that. How did you feel? An appropriate networking opportunity run by professionals. Thank you. Well, Rupert got to meet Crystalline and Emily, and well, like, I would say Rupert was around with like some of us because we got an Airbnb together. But yeah, you actually got time to meet the people in person who I talked to online. Do you want to talk about that at all? Okay, the word was used that I don't know. I understand the meaning of the word, but his vocabulary, he has grown it over time, and I am still a public school gal. He said something in kind about Emily. Emily is a talent as genuine in person as she appears before us. I took great joy in our conversation. Great. Okay. So cool. I'm trying to get the words right exactly, which is why I'm slow in getting it, because it's not quite like Jimothy where it's just like it rolls. I want to be sure that I am, and thank you for the crane, I'm trying to be as particular to his speech as possible. Oh, okay. Mrs. Mary B asked, when you talk to him, are you hearing like words? I don't know how to ask it that clearly. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the gift. So I have inner ear clairaudience. So it's a combination of hearing it like right inside my mind, which sounds kind of wild. I break it down better in some other videos and certainly on my courses on Patreon, but it's like a combination of claircognizance and using my own vocabulary in order to create words. Also, Rupert and I have a very clear emotive understanding of one another. So sometimes if it's not exact words, I'll get like a kind of either a claircognizant drop, or I'll get a clear emotive understanding of the word, and then I have to basically describe it. So just for all honesty, and I've made some videos on this, but I understand for newer viewers, this may not always come out as clearly. When I am talking to ghosts, like for ghost skits and that sort of thing, it's not always like I see them like I see people, and I hear them like I hear people, and the physical and that kind of thing. Basically, I have to understand my psychic language in order to create the understanding of what I'm getting to have a conversation. And P.S., if you're interested in doing that yourself, I teach this. I teach it on Patreon, but I also do one-on-one consultations. Ooh, that's cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, I do one-on-one consultations to work with people's different skill sets and work with them one-on-one on that as well. I actually got to do that today with somebody's clairaudience. I got to help clear it up, gave them some extra shielding so they can use it when they like, and also they can grow it over time. So that's something I'm really passionate about. I'm very much a kind of psychic medium that takes joy in teaching, and I truly believe that the more of us who are more intuitive and understand our psychic languages, we don't have to be afraid of it anymore. The more we understand, the more we get to actually work with it and grow and actually help each other. So yeah, that's what I'm about. Hello from Charleston, South Carolina. Hello, Kelly. Thank you for the roses. How to tell if you're an empath when you feel feelings that aren't yours. You're getting lots of highs, by the way. Let's see. Oh, okay. I see a question that I want to ask, but I want to ask it first before. Okay, cool. So I can ask that. Thank you for the heart. So, user with a bunch of numbers, what does he think of the Greek underworld? It is busy. Anything else you want to say about that? No. So, there you have it. It is busy. What up, Wilmington? Hey, Kelly. Have I started, from Anna, have I thought about starting my own tour company in Wilmington? I've thought about working with other people for tour companies. The reason why I don't is I do have some reservations on going out with people that I don't know solo, and also looking at the costs for having like 2 tour guides just for my safety doesn't exactly always seem feasible. It's a wild thing that I even have to consider that nowadays, though I have had enough experiences in the past few years that I need to put my safety in order. If I do tours again, it's going to be a rarity and for a special occasion, and I will not be alone. So yeah, also the tours that I would do would likely have some kind of mediumship element to it so that other people can test their skills and we can grow these things together. But yeah, maybe something in the future, with how well the conference has gone and how we're looking to do different workshops and that sort of thing. I've thought more about having a kind of like gathering in Wilmington so I can show you my haunts, so to speak, and we can work with one another and validate one another and grow in a different way from what would typically just be seen in a conference is what I mean. So cool. Oh, cool. All these people in Wilmington. What's up? I hope you have cool plans later. Even if your cool plans are just like to sit in bed in your PJs and like have some good food and watch movies, whatever that be. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'd love to meet with y'all for some sessions. Thank you for the heart. Rupert's over here. So he's not actually here. He wants to be out of frame. He's actually standing and like leaning up on something. Oftentimes in my old lives, when I would show like doorways behind me for the different houses that I've lived in over the years, people would often see him in door frames, which was also really cool. If you look back on my older lives, you can sometimes see his outline in doorways, which is super cool. All these people from all over. Hello, hello. It was great meeting you, Melissa. Thank you for coming on to Sacred Spaces. Goofy Gizmo. Yeah, I know. Some of my recent lives are definitely up on YouTube. This one's going to be on YouTube later. And I have been posting. Algorithm has been weird, and a lot of big creators got big hits because a lot of music was taken off of this app as of late. So that's a thing. Ooh, okay. So I see a question that I want to ask. I'm going to ask him first. Okay. So the question's from Dory. Thank you for the rose. Has Rupert met other gods, goddesses? So I want to... He says, I work under the parameters of Hecate. Okay. I have seen Hermes frequently in my time being with you, so being with me. Apollo was present this weekend. Of course, I have seen Hades. he's sticking to Greek pantheon. I know if he's seen some other folks, but I don't think he feels comfortable saying who those are right now. Just on a live setting, I mean. So yeah, the gods and goddesses are active. They are super active again, which is like really exciting for us. Hermes has been busy, yeah. Yeah. Thanks for helping each other out in the chat. I really appreciate that. Okay, let me ask that question. Okay, from user, what's Hades like? Did he offer you pomegranate juice? He said, absolutely not. Oh, thank you for the gift, Stephanie. He says, Hades is a man of business. Or God, excuse me, a god of business. What's he like? He says, I dare not say anything in the event that something I may say might not be of compliment to him. Therefore, I will keep my words to myself. He has my greatest respect. Cool. Great. Ooh, do you have a favorite color? He was just like green, because I know that, but I was just like, since being asked by somebody else. Okay, so, you're getting thank yous for doing this live, because he typically doesn't stick around for lives nowadays. From Randoish, do deities ever tell him about specific people or missions? None that are outside of what it is for me to understand for my own work. Do you like these political answers? Like here I am being like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and he's just like, da-da, da-da. Oh, that's an interesting question from Maya. I think that would work. So what does he think, thank you for the heart. What does he think we could work on as a people from his past experience? Okay, he said less war, further patience, better understanding of one another before taking action. There you have it. Ooh, from Caitlin, what was his favorite part of the weekend? My phone cut out. Oh, no, it hasn't been answered yet. What was your favorite part about the weekend? Okay, he said to spend time with whom I admire. Yay. Yeah. He was around during my speech, and I mean, I obviously, but like, it was really cool because he's the first one to like, can I say that? He's like, okay. He's like usually the first one to note when people are thinking outside of their minds, like thinking outside of their heads, which I've done some videos on that. It's how telepathy works. People oftentimes think here rather than like thinking here. It's something that I've really had to learn over the years because I think like everywhere. And I've made some videos about how embarrassing that is with spirits to be like, wait, how did you know that? I didn't tell you that. And they're like, yeah, you did. It was like out here. And I was like, whoops. So he kept moving around during my speech. Like he was in the back and then he moved to the side and then he moved up and then he moved closer to the stage at one point. And it was because he wanted to really focus on what I was saying because other people were thinking. And for the most part, that's fine. You know, it's not a problem. Like we're all very excited. We were sharing thoughts and feelings with one another. And I thought that was super great. As an intuitive, like that also helped me too, because it wasn't like I was tuned into specific people, but when I can catch the vibes, that's when I know like, okay, cool, I'm doing well, or I need to like kind of move over. It's also one who does a performance will have this kind of intuitive understanding of the audience as well. So thank you, Razzle. And yeah, he kept getting closer to the stage so he wouldn't hear other people's commentary and he could just focus on me, which was nice. But yeah, people actually, like, some people who were tuned into his energy could see him like move around. I'm sorry to laugh. I thought that was just really sweet that you just wanted to listen to me. I was like, of course I would want to listen to you. So anyway, oh, I love this question from Robin. Does Rupert have a sense of humor? Thank you for the heart. He says, yes. Thank you for the gift. I just saw Mountain. Is that a joke that you have a sense of humor? He says, I have humor when it is required. Okay. Okay. He basically said that his humor is different from what other people might expect. Like, he's not a funny guy. Jimothy is a funny guy. He is exactly what he is. Thank you, Abstract. I didn't see the rest of your name, but thank you. Yeah, if I'm only saying part of your names, please know it's just because that's all I'm seeing. Yeah, does Rupert have a sense of humor? What a great question. Okay. Oh, Mountain Mama, that was your name. Hello, cool. Thanks for being here. Sounds like Rupert would have a dry sense of humor. Absolutely. Absolutely. His humor is dry, period. From Wendy. Let me make sure I can ask that question. Okay, has Rupert seen his parents in the afterlife? Okay, he's saying to me, but he's saying, you are aware that my mother has since reincarnated and we have reconnected as fate would have it. I have had no interest in finding my father. I had a rough, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. So yes, and yeah, I'm only gonna say that much just because we do know who that person is. And it's just out of respect because we don't want people hounding that person, the way that things have kind of happened and that kind of thing. So it's a wild thing. I've actually found a lot of people that I know from that life because I was Mary in that life and that's how I met him the most recent time while both incarnate. In fact, I found out even more. Ooh, thanks. Those are so fun. Yeah, so I found out even as of this weekend, one of my friends said something ironically, and I was like, oops, and like something claircognizant drop happened, and I was just like, actually, yes. So we checked it, and we had somebody else check it here, and that was the cool thing about the Sacred Spaces gathering. Like, we had so many people there that were tapped in, so we could just cross-validate each other on so many things, and it was such a beautiful way to grow, and that's exactly what we wanted for the community. So, yeah, that life, a lot was happening. That was during the American Revolution. So, yeah, lots going on. Ooh, that's cool. I love that one. That's so cool. Okay. Yeah, in fact, during that life, this is going off subject a little bit, I had parallel lives. I had a man who was fighting in the Continental Army somewhere near Virginia. That man passed in battle, and I was also alive as about the same time as Mary, who was a teenager at the time. So yeah, parallel lives. And it's so cool, like, as a past life reader, sometimes looking back and being like, okay, cool, you were alive in two different spots at that time. So yeah, we've got so many options out there, which is so cool. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the heart. Okay. Dry wit. Yes, Tom. Hello. Thanks for being here. Oh, from Jasmine. Does Rupert like technology? Okay, he says, yes and no. It is good to have had so many brought together, like, for this. though it serves as a poor distraction for much in life that is worth living for. I kind of filled in a little bit at the end. Yeah, because it was like much in life, but so I got the feeling, and that's the word. I will try to be as specific as possible when it comes to like what he's actually saying or what I'm perceiving him saying versus like if I'm filling in something, because I never want to misquote somebody. So cool. From Natasha, how do parallel lives happen? Your soul decides that it wants to be in more places at once at the same timeline, and so they just split. So split all the time and then get back together. I wouldn't overthink it too much. I do have some videos on this. I also have some courses on my Patreon that gets far, far more in depth than I could right now. So, ooh. Okay, can I ask that? Okay. So ma'am asked, is there a shred of his soul here on this plane? He basically said none that he is interested in finding or obtaining. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. That's a complicated answer. I've looked into that with him before, and it was okay. From Lockdown, where was he born? What township? I don't know how to pronounce it. Thank you for the heart, eh? It's in Wales. It's like almost to northern Wales, but not quite, and it's near the eastern border. I did do a video. It starts with L, and the way that we found it was, if he tells me Welsh, I don't understand it. Like because I speak English and a little bit of like some other languages like Spanish and Italian, if it doesn't come through and my brain doesn't understand it, I have a lot of difficulty with it. So we got a map one night, and this was actually really cool. It was the same night after the courthouse incident where I pulled out a map that was from the late 1700s in Wales. I think it was 1758, which is applicable because, you know, towns, names, stuff like that change. There was one in Welsh and there was one in English. I think we were looking at the one in Welsh, but he basically used my hand, found it. I believe I also cross-validated this with a pendulum, so I had the pendulum like go to it, but it's there's two L's at the beginning, and there's like a D, A, D, D or something at the end. There's a video on my Ghost Kids playlist. I know you're gonna have to go back to kind of find it, but the name is there. And I also have the name like on my computer somewhere, as well as we did this cool thing where we went on Google Maps and we did the street view thing and like walked around the town, and it was the most validating thing because he had shown me imagery of what things looked like when he was younger, and then to go there and see it, and granted there are more modern buildings now, but like the topography and the river and the hills and all of that stuff, I was like crying because I was just like, oh, this is so validating because this is what I saw in my mind and I was seeing it here. The other cool thing is too, I mentioned that we did find Rupert's mother reincarnated. She did a past life regression, and we were also able to cross-validate other cool things that we had seen, such as like the house that he grew up in and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's been like a really cool trip. It's been a really cool trip. So let's see. Okay, I'm just looking at questions. Oop. I'm not trying to block anybody, my goodness. I like clicked on somebody. Ooh, thanks for the I love this one. It looks so cute. Oh, from Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. Are you ever planning on going to Wales? Doesn't feel like anytime soon. It's funny, like, I wonder if my book will be published before I go to Wales or something like that. Thank you, Tamika. Yeah, I don't feel like it's within the next few years. Maybe the next 5 years. Certainly to get out to his town, it would take a bus or a car or something like that. It's a very small town. It was even small back then. And one of the few places that would have had a record of his existence would have been the church, and the church burned down with all the records. That was like in the 1780s, I think. I would have to check that. I have a picture somewhere. From Kuptra? Koopa Troopa? Okay. If we don't know Greek mythology, do we need to before dying? Not trying to get in trouble with Hades. He says absolutely not. I would say if you're looking to work with the deity in this life, you should consider understanding the mythology before you start working with them, as well as like how they've grown in a modern context and that kind of thing. But it's not like, for example, the Christian God, where you get punished for not having dedicated yourself to him or something like that. Greek mythology is not like that. It's pretty much cut and dry. So yeah, and understand, I'm associated with Hellenistic mythology and Greek mythology. Rupert is as well. That's a whole other bag of things that I can't get into right now. Other people will go to other afterlives. We have far more free will over that than, once again, modern Christianity, I think, wants us to believe in, and other modern religions. A lot of things that are cool about paganism and polytheism is that they're there too. There are a variety of afterlives, and my main thing is we don't have to worry so much about that so long as we're taking care of ourselves now, which is why I'm such a big advocate for mental health. Because I'm like, hey, if we have no fear about being here and about that transition at the end, we'll be fine. We won't have to sit here in our fears. We can just move on to the next and not be afraid of it. So yeah, if for anybody who might be having fears about passing or the afterlife or that kind of thing, focus on where those fears come from in the now, because it's probably something up here that can be addressed with either a self-help book, a counselor, a good friend, a therapist, somebody like that. That's it. People often ask what the biggest thing I did for my spiritual awakening was. It was go to therapy. So big advocate for mental health. Let's see. So going down. Yeah, happy to help. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to answer a few questions all in one go. Interesting question, Tamika. Do you know stuff that it's better for normal people not to know till they move on? I mean, what is normal? like, what is normal? I have found in understanding my own neuro differences that I do have hyperfixations on things, and as of late I have hyperfixated on understanding other realms and spirituality. So I know a lot, but I've also been digging for a lot, and I also work with a lot of other beings for a lot. And I think as far as like, is it better for some people to know or not? It's all your decision on that. It's all what you're comfortable with. I mean, I've certainly looked into things before that I'm like, it's like closing a book. I'm like, woo, I'm good. I don't need to know anymore about that. Like, I'm fine. There's so much out there, and it's very fascinating. But at any point, if you start looking at things and you're not fascinated and you're scared, that is a time to take a step back, take a breather, understand where you're at, and understand where you're at is just fine. So as far as like what's better for normal people to know and that kind of thing, it's just a matter of what your comfort level is. But we have access to finding out a lot of things about a lot of things. Just don't let it scare you. If it's scaring you, that's a perfect time to take a step back and reassess. From Nicola, how to protect myself from the spirits around me. First, understand that not all spirits mean you harm. Understanding is power. And I would recommend, if you want to understand a lot more, check out my Ghost Skits playlist. Check out my Q&A playlist. Check out my lives on YouTube. Check out, if you're wanting and interested, check out my Patreon. Understanding is power. And when we understand our power, we don't have to put up with crap. I think I said something at the conference that if you can stand up to the people in your life physically to make boundaries and to feel safe, you can stand up to a spirit. Once again, it's the mental health aspect of it. It's being able to be like, cool, I am strong and in my power, and it doesn't matter if I'm not able to physically see it or truly understand what it is. If I am uncomfortable, I can tell it no. And that's in the physical or elsewhere. I've known people who can't perceive anything. They just get a weird feeling all of a sudden and they're just like, absolutely not, goodbye. And they stand in their willpower, and that's all they need. Okay, would you have to say something about... He says, speak with your guides. It is what they are there for, to offer you protection. Though it is my recommendation not to ask of them without offering acknowledgement in return. Okay, is that to say it's a two-way street? Like, I often talk about like how it's a two-way street where we acknowledge them and we start working with them, and then they start coming in because they want to help us, but sometimes we have to ask for help. Basically. Okay. Emily's on! Emily, you missed it. Rupert was just talking about you, a little talking, because you've met him. He said good things about you and appreciated your conversation. What is this fruit? That was so cool. But yeah, no details, of course, but yeah. He also said, hello, Emily. Cool, thanks, Erin. So nice of you to join this Friday evening. Emily's getting love in the chat. Thank you, thank you. This is the Rupert live. Yes, he is off screen. As I said, he's not like Jimothy where he's like on screen and like, yeah. I even had a Patreon workshop where I shared with them a new guide on my team, and that guide like came into my tent. I was like physically on like the side of the wall because he like wanted to be in and looking at the screen. But yeah, Rupert, whenever he's been in my lives, he's usually like either behind in a doorway or right now he's like over there. So yeah, okay. Okay, Emily waved, essentially. Oh, thank you for the gift. Happy birthday, Erin. Aquarian, yeah. My birthday's next week. My birthday's on the 7th. So Aquarian suns. Let's see. Oh, thanks for the hat. I don't really wear hats like that. Though I was made a hat by one of my mods this week. That was really cool. Well, I'm seeing some Aquarians up in the chat. Hello, hello. Okay, I did answer some of these questions that I'm seeing. Oh, ma'am asks, cowl or Welsh cakes? He says it depends on the ingredients. Here I thought you were neurotypical. I was told that's like... He says, no, it depends on who is making it. It wasn't a savory Welsh cake, but it was like, there was this one from a baker. It was it oatmeal and like light brown sugar? He doesn't really like sweet stuff. And that's what's coming to mind right now. Ooh, that was a really good baker. I kind of want more of those. Rupert came over in the 1770s, like 1778, I think. Yay, Kelly, just started Connect with your guides. Awesome. For Saz, oh my, what? What? Thank you. Was that Sandy? Thank you. These gifts are like so cool. Saz asked, are loved ones around us? They can be. They are not, in my experience, they are not all the time. But if we ask them to be and they are able and willing to show up, they can be. let's see. Oh, you missed the workshop, Rebecca. Well, I just reposted it today, actually. So that's on Patreon if you want to check out the workshop. We missed you. Ooh, this is a good question. Oh, thank you. Okay, what does he think we should bring back from his time? He just said, time. Do you want to elaborate on that? He says, a long, quiet afternoon with limited distractions. Or none. I get that though. You know what I mean? Time's moving faster. Especially with like electronics and stuff like that. I hear that. That's a very good answer. I'm for this answer. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Bugbear. Let's see. Oh, from Noelle, did Rupert ride horses? And if so, does he ever get to see them? Thank you, Meg. He says, I understood the concept. I did not obtain the wealth necessary to have a horse. Okay. Do you see them around? He says, spirits. I guess. Not commonly. Though I am in the understanding they exist. Can he have a horse now that he's on the other side? He says, I do not require a horse. I may move between time at will. It's true. I oftentimes say this, a spirit is not bound by space or time. So like spirits can like blip and like pop into different places. From Ari, how do you know if someone is from a past life? Is it a feeling? I would say so. I don't always know who all in my life I've shared past lives with, but I trust that I'm in this place with these people for the right reasons. And if I meant to find out later, I found out later. Sometimes it's like something clicks. Sometimes I've gone to readers or gotten regressions. Sometimes I look into it on my own. I'd say if you're feeling a particular connection to somebody, why not? You know, like, does it hurt to believe that you have a connection past this life with that person? Typically, I don't think it does. Main thing is to stay open-minded and to stay in the present and understand, like, that you're in this life and that this life is the most important one because you're alive in it right now. Thank you. Thank you for the tiny diny. That's so cute. Sometimes if something unexpected happens to that life, and I mean like a big unexpected, like life altering unexpected, you might pick up on like the anxiety of it or even like the happiness of it or something like that. But typically our souls have enough checkpoints between each other so that we can live our own separate lives and not be affected by the other lives. So that way when we do merge again, if that's what we decide to do in the afterlife or moving forward, it's not the same life that was lived. It's different lives so that we can grow in different ways. Okay, for Ma'am again, what hobbies does he indulge in when he is not required? Okay, decide what you're going to say, because there was like a lot of thoughts that came through and I want to be sure that I'm saying what it is you want me to say. He says, there's such little time to take true joy in things, with my position being what it is. I enjoy He says, I enjoy a drink that I may have slowly at my leisure to not feel rushed. I enjoy rest and time with those he cares about. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Love my top. Thank you. This is new. But did he enjoy the peg game from Faye Louise? He says, for the time that he focused on it, he improved greatly, though it has been some time since he has played it since. Yeah, he got better at it than I did. I'm just gonna say that. I don't have like a lot of planning in games like that. I just kind of like, woo, like figure it out on the fly, which, yeah, that's me. But no, he figured it out very well, and we actually looked up gameplay on that so he could be even better at it. I think I put this on Instagram like last year. He actually beat me at chess. So next time that I don't believe what I'm doing, I can look back at that post and be like, well, I got beat at chess by a ghost. He's played it far more than I have as of late, like in the last few years. So, oh, can you answer that question? Okay, so can Kamari? Anyway, asked how many people is Rupert connected to? He says far more than I dare say or can count. I think that means incarnate. He says the answer is the same. Do you know who all those people are? Of course not. Kristen, have you ever humored Rupert with today's lingo? Yeah, I made a video where I taught him the word cringe. He was upset by that. Ooh, thank you. But the font is so small. I sometimes see the names and sometimes I don't. Is this what aging looks like? Like my birthday's in a week. Like is this what it's like when I'm like Yeah, okay, so from Mary, can Rupert/spirits only travel in current time, visit the past or future? It says the answer is complicated. Most spirits in good mind stay in the present that they are aware of. It is not common for one to be able to travel through time. That is a particular skill that either is already with the individual or must be acquired through specialized training. Yes, okay. So, yes, I know some talented readers who can do that and kind of like pop in an astral and then kind of pop out. But even then oftentimes it's more like watching a show or like talking to somebody in their dream rather than actually talking to them when they're awake, because it's creepy. We don't want to adjust time. I don't know many who can do that. If it's kind of like, if you can do that here, you can do that there. And if you can't, then that's not what you're meant to do. Yeah, I don't know too many time travelers, but I do know it is possible. But remember, this is time traveling in astral. This is not necessarily like popping up. Now, could that be possible in time? Sure, why not? I have a very open mind. I've been taught to have an open mind over the years. So, but I really am just speaking from my experience and who I know right now. So, yeah. Yeah, glad I could answer. Oh, thanks. Elizabeth just said, unrelated, I've been stressed about my hair for tonight and your hair just inspired me, so thank you. Yeah, it's just a headband. Happy to help. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the tiny diny. Okay, so what's Rupert's favorite thing about now, or does he miss his own time? he says, I much prefer being here and understanding my present now. It is far better than feeling lost from when I was most recently alive. He felt like he was really out of control in his life. I mean, there's just a lot of factors in that. I'm being corrected. He was like, I had control of myself. I did not have control over the situation. So yeah. Anything else on that? Anything about now? Are there things you missed about your own time? The effort of the clothing. Because there was much effort in clothing back in the 1700s. There were so many layers. But I thought you also didn't like all that effort. I thought you liked some things about modern clothes. Expediency. He does like the expediency of modern clothes. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going through. You've been following me since 2021. Thanks, KB. Tamika, not gonna lie, they look cozy back then, but how did they use the bathroom? There were holes. Or there were holes and you just kind of squat. That was the thing that women did. Yep, it was just kind of like a seam like that. And then men would kind of do the same thing. It's like unbuttoned and the same concept. We always have to figure out how to use the bathroom. Oh, from Mouse. Do you or Rupert have more than one past life together? He says plenty. Yeah, goodness. It's not every life that we're together, because obviously right now, he's in spirit, but I mean like corporeally together. We've had a lot of lives together. And some of those lives were different relationships. A lot of those lives were romantic in some form. We've decided over time that we don't do well being in other relationships, like being friends or being family members or whatever. It seems like we're just better with one another in a particular way. Your souls try to learn things sometimes, and other times their souls just give up. Because that happens sometimes. Which is fine. I'm fine with it. Yeah, we've had different lives that show up for with different folks. I've done other past life regressions with people or looked into past lives with other people. And yeah, we've kind of popped up in different places all over the world, which is super cool. Claire, how does Hecate feel on being portrayed in Charmed? I will not speak for her. I am not channeling her right now, and I will not speak for her. Unless she specifically wants me to. For Kaliana, what were you and Rupert's relationship in a past life? So the most recent one, we were both corporeally here, we were married. Yeah. So... Radiant Lion, has Rupert met any of the infernals? Like demons, I imagine. Of course. Yeah, I actually made a skit about that where I was like, I'm going to hell. If you haven't seen that skit, please go back and look at it. Like, I don't know why, but like it didn't get the traction that I wanted it to. I was so proud of that skit. And like, it was such a like wild thing that happened. I checked with the client that I was working with on that before I like actually posted it and stuff and got her okay, and I cut all energetic ties on that one. But like, yeah, if you haven't seen the one where I'm like, I'm going to hell, like that's just one example. I think that one might have been a bit too wild for some people, because a lot of you are like following me for like the very ghost and spirit guide kind of content. So when I started going into like, I went to astral and went to hell, like I think that was a bit much for some people. Which, I mean, fine. I literally said it earlier before. Like, if any of this stuff gets too weird or, like, scares you, then it's just not your stuff. So, like, that's why I try to make it more relatable to you. But, buddy, in consultations, I have gotten into some stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, I am seeing a lot of questions regarding a personal nature for personal things regarding like specific people and something that they're going through right now. I would highly recommend checking out. I have a lot of content out there for you on growing your skills. I have the Q&A playlist here. I have a Q&A playlist on YouTube. I have a lot of resources on my lives from like past times. Those are all up on YouTube. This one's going to be on YouTube later. And yeah, I have a lot of resources out there. And yeah, I just kind of want to keep it time and place because he's not always here. Same thing for like growing abilities, seeing spirits, understanding grief, understanding and grief from a mediumship context. I am not a mental health professional, so I always want to be clear about that. But yeah, even right now, like on Patreon, I've got something. What is it? I've got 15 courses that are up now on how to grow your skills. And the reason why I keep bringing up Patreon is like so many people want to grow their skills and I want you to grow your skills. And for $10 a month, you can take courses and you get all of that immediately. Like you get loads and loads of content right from the gate and you get to watch it all at once. You can even blow through it within a few weeks if you really want to, if you really just want to go on a deep dive with it. But I put that on there and I put it at a very low rate because I want to make it affordable to people. Now, if you stay on my Patreon, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. We're doing a lot of really cool things. I've got a bunch of different tiers. Same thing too, if you don't want to miss my ghost skits, algorithm in TikTok has been really, really weird. Really, really weird. So if you're coming back and you're like, whoa, I haven't seen you in so long, $5 a month, that you can join my Patreon. I have different perks on there. I do outlooks for the month where I actually do group readings for the outlook for the month for people as a collective. Thank you for the heart. But I also do all my skits on there. And of course I've got other things for exclusive content. I just got so much going on there. And I want to make this affordable for people. And I also, yeah, I'm really happy to be able to offer that to folks, and for different things. Oh, thank you. I'm seeing Patreon is totally worth it. Thank you. So yeah, that, I don't want to overplug it because I do feel like the right people will go to it and will feel drawn to it. I don't feel the need to like smash anybody over the head, but so often I get so many questions from people about growing their skills. And I remember when I was first opening up, it was just me. I just had to believe myself and I had to believe that I was doing something. And then like over the years, I finally got people to validate me, but that was so far of me just trying to figure things out on my own for the longest time. So since I grew this platform, I'm trying to tell people you don't have to be alone and there are resources out there for you. So do consider that if you're feeling that call. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll answer 2 more questions and then I'll probably pop off because it's been about an hour. From Parker, has part of Rupert's soul reincarnated in this lifetime? Thank you for the heart. There it is. Reincarnated in this lifetime, if you can speak to this. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting kind of a download. He's not like speaking it. I'm getting more like a... So... most of his soul did move on. The piece that I found of him, oh, thank you for the heart. The piece that I found of him was just a piece of his soul. And I have had the opportunity to run into ghosts and then figure out that their fuller soul had reincarnated and I found who they were reincarnated with. That was such a cool gift. Thank you. Do you know if that reincarnation is around right now? He says, I should say not. He says if I have any. Okay. I'll leave that. Are you sure? Are all the pieces? Oh, he said it is not for them to know. So we will put that out there. He's done a lot to take stock of where all of his soul pieces are in his afterlife. for safety stuff for himself, that kind of thing. It's just, he doesn't like being surprised. Really, that's what it comes down to. I get it. And he has the access to do it, so that's why he does it. So yeah, basically to answer your question, if part of his soul has reincarnated, we're not being told about it tonight. And could it have reincarnated? Yes. So yeah. So Hufflepuff, do you miss Rupert when he's not around? Of course. Though I understand the work that he's doing is so important. Like, I can't get into all of it for reasons. But yeah, it makes me appreciate our time together even more. But really what it comes down to is I am so proud of all that he does. I know what he's doing is very good for a lot of folks. And it's an honor to be able to work with a deity. And of course, he's not the only one. There are plenty of folks in the afterlife who work with deities. Some of you work with deities, you know. But I know for what he is doing, it is a privilege and an honor. And I'm proud. I'm proud, but I miss him. So, but I see him when I can. That's what's most important. Yes, thank you for respecting boundaries. Very proud of you, Rupert. That's what they say. Once again, I'm seeing some personal nature questions in here that I wouldn't feel comfortable answering vaguely without being able to look into the situation more personally. So if that's something you really want to look into, do consider a consultation with me. I also do quick chats, and I have a readers team for other things, and they're all really wonderful, and they specialize in different things, and they're just fantastic folks. But yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna pop off because it is Friday night, and if you're wondering if I got crazy plans, absolutely not. I'm gonna lay down. So thank you for the tiny dinies. I'm seeing this right now. Yeah, if you want to catch up, do look up on my YouTube. I've got a lot of lives, and I've got a lot of long form content on YouTube where you can help grow your own psychic skills and try things out with us and hopefully be validated. So yeah, not sure if I'll be going live before my birthday. That'll be February 7th. I don't even know if I'm gonna make a video about that, so I told you first. Yes, have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you for joining. People are saying thank you. He just nodded. He was just like, mini party with yourself at home. Yes. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Respect to Rupert. Thank you. Thanks for saying that, Joey. Also good to see you on the live. Joey's one of my Patreons. I'm seeing some of my other Patreons on here. Hi, thanks for being here. Thank you. And thanks for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. I think I'm actually gonna get off now. So thanks everybody for joining, and yeah, I've got some more content coming out. Catch up if you want to right after this. There's plenty out there, and yeah, this live will be up probably within the week. So everybody take care. Bye.